1. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen, is Mother's Day bad because not everyone's a mother? Is Labor Day bad because not all women are laborers? Is Christmas bad because not all women identify with the Catholic Church? All of these different facets in society still coexist, and I think the fatal flaw coming from side opposition is that they oversimplify really what a feminine genius is, and they hard lock on the word maternity. Oh, maternity, meaning you have to be a mom, the standard. If we read the motion and read the info slide, it specifically talks about how, let's look at this. Inherent to women that enable them to build a culture of life and contribute to society in distinctive ways. Meaning, as what we told you coming from my speech and my partners, there are many roles and many ways in which women can contribute. And as such, the words that follow after are positive affirmations of how these things can help women. Their side calls it vague. We say, yeah, it's vague because it can apply case to case. It doesn't just apply to the categorical definition of what it means to be a woman, because we think that trans women are women, therefore they're also affected by this feminist genius. And besides, these other people and other minorities have other social groups and initiatives to be able to lobby for them. Maybe their side would win the debate if the debate was about this house believes that the concept of maternity does more harm than good. But they largely oversimplify what being a feminine genius really is. Because we explain and we tell you how this can be encompassing. And sure, it might have been the Pope who said it, but the way in which we embrace it and the fact that the movement can embrace it means that the trickle-down effect of that to the individual woman and the feminist movement as a collective allows them to be able to redefine their standards. And that's where Matthew's case comes in, because he pushed on them, along with Brent, the comparative. Meaning, absent being able to embrace this kind of thing, what happens? Contrary to popular belief, things can get worse because other more toxic and more perverse things coming from the patriarchy are likely to try and redefine what truly it means to be a woman in a more limiting way, like the thing I said in my speech, wherein they're only going to be seen as someone who solely has to be a mother. They're seen as someone who has to be able to be at the whim of their family and other kinds of people. But uniquely, when we're able to embrace the concept of this, we're able to expand that, championing intersectionality that's able to apply to all of these particular different strands. Because the impacts coming from our side were quite clear. We were able to talk to you in terms of how this can become a rally point for change that allow communities to be able to coalesce together in other ways before. Because if their side talks about how, oh, you don't solve these kinds of problems, then I think opposition fails their burden in terms of explaining why absent this, other things will be better. Because on our side, we're not necessarily going to be overburdened to have to say that this sole thing that they do will solve all of the problems that exist with women and exist the movement. But contrary to popular belief, marginal change can happen and things can get better, which uniquely happen because of the way the movement has evolved that ultimately champion their ability to be able to help in their communities and also be able to help and see themselves. It creates an exemplar to be able to look up to in the concept. That's why my POI was also important. Even if they're never able to reach that standard, which by the way exists for a reason, so that on average, women and their communities, regardless of their role, are able to aspire to become better. Which is why you unlock the thing which we said in our case, which is that on average, these women are able to be set up for success, to be able to challenge those norms in a way that's easier and better than their side. Very proud to stand on side proposition.